Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about 5 easy ways to stay ahead with tracking what you spend. Do you track your spending? If you don't, this video is for you. Okay, so I got some questions and some comments about ways to track spending, how we track it for a little bit and then we fall off. So I am going to be giving you some easy ways to kind of try to stay on track. We're not even going to say kind of try to stay on track. We're going to say to stay on track with tracking what you spend on a daily basis. Now, before we hop into this, guys, if you have not already joined the family, go ahead, click that subscribe button, and then also don't forget that notification bell, because that right there, whenever I pop up a video and upload it, that will be like and pop up so that you can make sure that you don't miss any videos. And another thing is, with all this talk about tracking what we spend, do not forget to scan your receipts for the extra rewards if you are utilizing Fetch. That is a gold mine. And yes, this is not sponsored. I'm just saying Fetch is off the chain because you can get gift cards for Walmart and you can pretty much just use that to go buy some more groceries, or you can buy the things that you actually need. So I do have a code down in the description box. And also, guys, if you don't use my code, use another budgeter's code, because like I said, we all here to help each other. All right. First thing we're going to start with is we're going to kick it old school, and we're going to go the old school way. So the first way is to pretty much just use a check ledger or a transaction book or a transaction register. So if you are using cash, this is a great way to track what you're spending. And then also is great to use with your check card and then also with credit cards, because I know some people spend with their credit cards, they get the points, they use the points, they pay the card back by the end of the month, and that's just their system and it works for them. Now, if you don't want to write checks or whatnot, just a little tip, because sometimes checks, you forget about it. So a good thing is you can either get like a cashier's check or a money order, because the money actually comes straight out of your account. So once that money is out of there in that check, you know that that check, if it's like lingering out there, it's not going to come back when you thought that you had enough money in your account to cause you an overdraft. But the only downside of that is if it gets lost in the mail. So pick your battles. You pick whichever one you want to do. You can also use your check register when you after you like reconcile it. You can pretty much just go on your bank statement and you can actually just see and check off the things that you want to do. Now, I know check registers, a lot of people have used these, but there are some times where people do not use check registers. You will not believe how many people don't use a check register and don't keep up with how much money they have in their account. So we're going to fill one out and we're just going to play around with it. I'm just going to say this is just an example of us tracking if you want to use this as a tracker. So we're going to say 9:30 and we're going to say I use cash and my beginning total was $100. That was my balance. So we're going to say that we went to Walmart. And I don't know where I put my calculator's right there. I was like, I'm trying to use some easy numbers here. So we're going to say we did $50. Okay. So you can put, if you want to, this was for personal usage. So that way you can track, makes it a lot easy. So you want to do subtract $50. So that will be $50 left. All right. So next, let's just say 10:01. You can either write on one line or two. I use 2 lines sometimes, or I use 1. So we're going to do cash again. Let's say we went, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? We're going to go to Target. Let's say we're going to go to Target. So I'm going to go to Target and I spent $25 in my cash. And I'm going to say this is going to be for food. Eat out. I got some Starbucks. Let's see, Starbucks. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to take $25 from that. So that'll leave me with $25. So I know that I have $25 left for my cash that I can actually spend. So when I go back at the end of the week or the end of the month, I can go back and see and track exactly what I spent. So this would be great for someone that does not use cash, because you can just pretty much reconcile this. So when it shows up on your check register, if you're using just your check card or your credit card, you just check it and you just check it off saying that that came through. So this is a way that you can pretty much track it, like I said. Or you can pretty much just white out this, and then you can just pretty much make it your own, and then you have your columns. So, and it's pretty compact, and you can pretty much just stick it in your wallet. You can stick it here, or you can pretty much just stick it back. I got a lot of junk in here. Stick it here, and then just carry it along with you when you go somewhere. All right, so that is one way of tracking and staying ahead of making sure your expenses are what they're supposed to be. Okay, so the next thing, which I love to use, is use envelopes with money trackers. What do you mean by that, Tina? All right, so envelopes with money trackers, these are trackers specifically to track spending with a running total. So when you re-up your envelope, you just add the cash and keep on going. So I usually use these. So either this one or this one. This one, if I have it in my binder here, and then I have it also, this one I can put in my envelope. So this one goes, these are the ones that I'm actually using now. So they're in here. I don't want to mess up one, so I'm just going to like eat out here. As you can see, I have a running total there. I've just been writing where I went to: Marco's, Chick-fil-A, that was delivery, Chick-fil-A, Domino's, Kings Island, La Coretta, and you can see where I've had the transaction. So I can go back and say like, hey, let's do this. Marco's pizza. Okay, so pizza was $25, and I've had pizza just one time on here, but I know I've had it more before I started doing this. But I can say like, hey, for groceries, let me just go and grab a Tombstone pizza, and that might cut the cost. I can get like 2 or 3 pieces for the price of the $25 that we paid. So that's a way that I can track my spending, and that's how tracking your spending can help you, because you start to get kind of creative when you see exactly how much you are actually spending. So I'm just gonna so just tracking my spending, it will be the same thing like I would do. You don't have to do a month. You can do it. I do this sinking months, but I do use this in my binder. So you can just pretty much do the same thing like 9:30. And then we'd say we had Marco's pizza, and then we did it for $25. I had $50 as my starting balance, and this is food. And so we have $25 left for eat out. So that's what I mean by pretty much just tracking, keeping down. So you can use like little, people sell a lot of different spending trackers. So you can just pick whichever ones you like. So this just lets me know what I spent, like what day I spent, what I spent it on, and how much I spent it on, and how much I have left. So it all runs into one. So having some cute little trackers can be a little bit motivating, but you can use notebook paper. You can use whatever you want to use. That's totally up to you. And then we're gonna hop to number 3. Use tracker sheets. This could be either a notebook paper. This could be printed from a budget planner, or this could be just a bullet journal, anything that you want to write things down. So weekly, I come to these pages and I write down my spending, and I use categories for my purchases so that I get a realistic goal of, or realistic idea of what I'm spending my money on. So like if it's food, am I eating out too much? Or if it's gas, am I having to fill up too much? Add that into how much you need to stuff for your envelopes for the week. So this stuff pretty much just ties in all together. So these are just right here, just some weekly expenses sheets. These are trackers. So I just pulled these out. I know last time I had some budget sheets and people were asking me. It's just from my my budget planner that I have. So I just pulled those out because this is disc bound, so they pop out and pop in. I got a mess going over here on the side. All right, so we're gonna just pretty much just kind of play around with it, just do like some little examples. So how I do this, I will do like for the week, I would say like it's the week from the 1st to the 5th. So then what I will do for that whole week, I'll just write like, let's say 9/20, 9/25. And let's just say we went to, we'll say we ate 𝗗𝗓𝗏𝗡. That's just a little, I think it's a Japanese restaurant we go to. All right, and then let's just say Aiden's over here still in paper. All right, so then we'll go, let's say I got gas. So gas was $25. 𝗗𝗓𝗏𝗡 was 20. All right, so let's say category. So this would be food or eat out. And then this right here would be for car. So then I go over here and I say, is this a need or a want? So this is 𝗗𝗓𝗏𝗡 is definitely a want because we could have ate at home. The next thing I would do, gas. So gas is car. This is definitely a need. So the next thing I would do, I'm going to do, let's do Chick-fil-A. Let's kind of Chick-fil-A. All right, so we got $9.25. So we're going to do Chick-fil-A. We're just going to do $25. We're going to make it big, okay? I mean, and it probably costs that much for a Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A is good, y'all. And this is going to be eat out too. Sorry, I had to shut my door. Aiden just zoomed in and zoomed out. So this is going to be a want to. So this is where I come in and I go on the bottom here and I do eat out. And then I do car. So I know a lot of you have seen me do this before. So for eat out, we're going to add $20 plus the 25. I probably could add that in my head. So that's $45. And then for car, we got $25. And then what I normally do this way that I can kind of categorize and make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. So we're going to do eat out. And I just do highlighter method. And then we're going to do gas, this color here. So that way I can pretty much track my expenses and see how much I'm spending a weekly with my eat out, which is $45, and then what I'm spending with the car for gas. So that's how that is. And then basically all you do is just, once you're done, I'm not gonna put this in because it's gonna mess me up, and you just pretty much just pop it back in. There you go. Right, I'm not gonna put it back in, okay? All right, so okay, so how are we going with this? How are we working? So that's so far what we have for easy ways to track your spending. All right, so the next thing we have is using a tracker book. All right, so this is pretty much to keep monthly expenses organized, and also I use a tracker book for my fingertips. I switch back and forth. So this is my little tracker book that I actually use. I'm throwing it all over the place. So I actually put like receipts in here, so that way I can make sure I do not miss out on my Fetch rewards. Like I'm telling you, Fetch is off the chain. So this right here, I'm just going to show you an example. So this is just for April, and I just put the little stickers down that I have. And so as you can see, I have week 1, the 1st through the 7th. Aha. So what does that look like? So you can actually take this and add this to the weekly expense tracker and do it that way, because you have personal, eat out, groceries, household. And I'm going to put this a little bit closer so you guys can see it. So then you can transfer this from here to this, but this is a good book, or you can even use a happy planner, a micro. We'll use that. Just use something super small to keep in your like wallet or your purse or your glove box or your console. So that way, once you're from the grocery store, you just go straight in and be like, all right, let me write down these expenses. Now, I am also a big fan of the Tomra River paper. This is just a notebook that I got from Planner Penguin Co. Gosh, let me see. Is it written inside of here? No, it's not in there. So you can either use a book like this. This is just a small little notebook, and you can just jot down either this way, or you can just jot down like your expenses for that and just use for that. So that way it just slides in your purse, or you can just pretty much do it like this, where it slides in your wallet. I got a lot of junk in there, where it just slides in your wallet, and you just do it that way and just keep it like that. So you can find like all kind of like little hacks, things to help you with your budget. The last thing is, if you're a digital gal or a digital guy, you can go with utilizing your phone. So you can just pull up the Notes app, or if you have Android, I'm not sure what the Android uses for. Let me know in the comments what you use. Do y'all have Notes? Because I've used to be like decades ago, like used to be Android. Nothing against it, no shade. I used to be Android, but now I love Apple because I can sync everything together. You can also, I'm sure there's a lot of different apps that are on the App Store now because they have like bunches of them. You can find apps that are on there, but instead of just paying for an app, just go use your notes. You can also use Good Notes, and then you can also what else? Notes. You can also use Notes. So those are other things, but digital is not my thing. Or you can use your mini iPad that you have. Digital is not my thing. I have to have paper. I have to have a planner. I have to have a pen. I know I'd be tearing up my pages. I just white out and I just use it. So that is another option for those of you guys that are in that way. A lot of people use Excel sheets also because they can, and like I said, that is not my thing either. But you can do Excel sheets where you can actually format it so that when you do plug in your numbers, it'll do all of the work for you. So if you are like Spiffy and you are like spiffy on the Excel and on worksheets, docs, Google, go ahead. You get it done. You do it. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Let me know in the comments how you track your expenses. If you don't track your expenses, or you're thinking about tracking your expenses, or you just going to be like, nah, I'm just going to roll with it. I ain't tracking nothing. All right, guys. So also make sure that you visit my website. It's called www.APinkeClothlife.co. And then I'm also on TikTok and I was about to say TikTok and Amazon. Also TikTok and then Instagram, Cloth Life. And then, like I always say, until next time, guys, peace.